You can run, but you can't hide. Can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. You can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide.
Get high. My jam, baby.
You see somebody's in a good mood tonight. But
I'm in a
ladies and
good
gentlemen,
mood. I'm in a
it's
good
another
groove.
Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know what that means? Top of the key, baby. We in here. It's your boy Cool McCain. I'm joined as always by Mr. Hype himself, Wire to Wire,
Bird,
and
baby. What's popping?
a special guest, basketball intellectual himself, Coach Dante. What's good, Coach Dante?
What's good, man? Anytime, man. I'm always happy to talk basketball. Anytime I get a chance to jump on Friday night, man. So let's get going, man. I'm happy.
Let's go. And Key, what up in the comments? Hey, we popping off as always, man. You know me. Some people might be tired of seeing it. If you are, oh well. I like to pop off a little, just a little reminder as to where we stand with those top 6 teams in these conference. I feel like that's a nice little, introductory point to get everybody's mind focused on NBA. So let's get into it. So in the Eastern Conference, in first place, 43-17, 8-2 in the last 10, the Boston Celtics. One game behind it at 41-17. Don't know that math, but that's what it says. The Milwaukee Bucks, 10-0 in their last 10 games. Big move. All right. And then in third place, we got Gene's Philadelphia 76ers at 39-19. A respectable 7-3 in their last 10 games. Fourth place, Cleveland Cavaliers 38-24, 7-3, respectable as well in their last 10 games. Number 5, still hanging in that top. 6, the Brooklyn Knicks, 34-24, 5-5 in their last 10. And then to round out the top 6, the New York Knicks, 6-4 in their last 10 at 33-27. So, gentlemen, any thoughts, any concerns, any insights on those top 6 teams in the Eastern Conference?
So, first and foremost, tomorrow night we have an absolute battle. Boston is coming into Philadelphia, take on the 76ers as the 1 seed plays the 3 seed. 76ers last night came back from 16 down versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Joel Embiid with the SWAT heard around the world.
Oh, that was a nice swat.
Spiking Ja Morant on the ground.
That was a nice one.
Look, I think the 76ers are starting to mesh and come together at the right time. Now, the problem is this, right? In order, if you want Joel Embiid to be prime Joel Embiid come playoff time, you're going to need to slow that train down and give him a couple weeks off. I think that that's exactly what's going to end up happening. But Joel Embiid's MVP, like he wants MVP so badly that he doesn't want to take time off. But you can see the big man just sluggish. You can see it. I think the top 3 teams in the East are in a class of their own. Yeah. Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia. And then everybody else is just white noise. I think Cleveland's got an opportunity, but nobody else in the East really does. They don't. There's no other competitors in the East outside the big 3. It's a very top-heavy conference.
I mean, I don't disagree. Key says 6 of the things, referring to the blocks. And Coach Dante, man, what you got?
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this. Miami, don't let them sneak in that top 6. If Miami sneaks in that top 6, I believe they can be a tough out. I mean, this team is built to play in the playoffs. Miami is built to play in the playoffs. We know they're going through some struggles right now. They did just add Kevin Love as a shooting. He's not going to do too much on the defensive side. But if Miami can sneak in that top 6, and I believe a matchup between the Sixers and Miami, that's a tough matchup. That's a tough matchup in the East for me. So if Miami sneaks it in that top 6, regardless who has that 3rd seed, I'm not gonna say they're gonna win the series, but they're gonna give up. That series is gonna be extended. So if Miami gets in that top 6, I believe Miami is a team that is built to play in the playoffs. Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the league on adjusting in game 7s and in a 7-game series. And Jimmy Butler, he balls out when he's a different guy in playoff time. Tyler Hero can stay healthy, along with Bam Adebayo, who can drop you 20 points a night too. I believe that team will be a tough team for any top 3 seed that's gonna play them. So if they can find a way to sneak into that top 6, I believe they can give whoever in that top 3 a battle. Not saying they're gonna win the series, but it's gonna be a long series.
I can dig it, man. So I'm gonna throw a Brett's comment here. So Brett says, one thing that'll help Embiid in the playoffs is PJ Tucker can check most centers, which lets Embiid play on the worst offensive player and conserve some energy on defense and be a help side minutes. I definitely agree with that sentiment. Like PJ Tucker, that's what he does. Like, right? If you need him to play a big, he plays big. If you need him to play a wing, he plays a wing. Offensively, he doesn't give you a lot, but he gives you so much hustle, rebounding, defense. And that's something that comes at a premium, honestly, in today's NBA. So definitely agree with that. And I think PJ was one of the big reasons that helped the Milwaukee Bucks when they won a championship, as we talked about with Con Man last night. He's the what was the word Con Man used? I believe he said thug, did he?
Yeah. He the old school of the old school.
That's the old school, Old school, you just let that ride. You know what I'm saying?
Just want to comment on the Brett's comment. I don't disagree with that versus most playoff teams. But in the East, the way it's lined up, it doesn't matter. Embiid is going to still have to guard someone because, like, let's just give Milwaukee as an example. Are you going to put him on Brook Lopez or are you going to put him on Giannis? If you're putting him on Brook, you have to take him out of the lane because Brook is going to station himself up on the outside. If you put him on Giannis, which normally they do, he's going to have to work. It's Giannis. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's take it a step further. If you play against the Boston Celtics, if they start Robert Williams and Al Horford in the playoffs, they are out of their freaking mind. There's no way they should do that. That's what they're doing right now. That would be a perfect matchup for us to have Embiid only have to stick Robert Williams. I don't think that's a problem. But if I'm the Celtics and I put Al Horford at the 5, like they do versus the Sixers all the time, that means Embiid's got to stick Horford at the 3-point line in the corner, just like any other team. And there's like even look at the Miami Heat. Their starting backcourt, front court is going to be Kevin Love, who started a power forward for them tonight, and Bam Adebayo at center. Embiid's going to have to stick one of them. If you get Adebayo, you're going to have to work interior, and Kevin Love is going to stretch you out. So I don't see that happening unless they make it to the NBA Finals and they play a team like Memphis, to where you can allow Embiid to kind of relax in the paint. But I don't see many teams, like even, with Denver, Jokic, like who is he going to? PJ Tucker can't take that away from any team. It just doesn't work. Doesn't work. It only works versus bad teams.
That's what I say. Memphis is not going to be in the NBA Finals, sir.
I'll take Memphis over Denver in a 7.
Of course you will. Of course you will. That doesn't make it right. That just means you know how you feel about Denver. When we put you in place this year, you'll have to change the narrative, and that's what's going to happen.
I mean, when we played y'all, we put y'all in place.
But one game doesn't make a final, sir. So you can take that and you can file it with your other happy thoughts, but that doesn't win you a championship one game.
You're right, and you guys got one playoff win in 2 years.
Yep, with the 2 second and third best player hurt. But you don't ever want to acknowledge that. You just want to say that we got one playoff win in 2 years. They're back now, right? So now you see the full team for the first time in 3 years. So don't try don't try to give me this bull crap that you've been trying to spew. It's hogwash, it's haberdashery, and it's crap. It is trash take. You know this is not the same team, but you want to sit here and try to act like this is the same Denver team without the second and third best player and scorer on the team and the best facilitator. So come on, man. Don't try to act like it's the same team. But you going to see. People like you going to see. And we're going to give it to you. And when we do, acknowledge us.
I hope I'm wrong.
I know you're wrong. Key Williams says Lopez makes him work, referring to Joel Embiid. Now, I'm a little homer when I say we're going to make it to the finals, right? Like, it's a little homer involved in that. But we're going to win series this year. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be one game and we're done this year. I'll guarantee that. If I was a bet man, I'd bet that. But I don't bet. But
Y'all better hope
change
the
that
Golden State Warriors
these
stay out of that
props.
series.
I ain't worried about that. Because Golden State doesn't have an answer for what Jokic does when he has other weapons around him.
Okay.
Now, when he's the only one, focus on him. But when the other guys are there, they don't have an answer for all that. Can they beat us? Absolutely. Memphis could beat us. New Orleans could beat us. You know, the Lakers could beat us. Anybody could win the game. But it ain't going to be like it was been in the past. That's what you need to understand, sir.
Okay.
Now, on to the Western Conference. That aforementioned Denver team, 42-18, 8-2 in their last 10 games, sitting number one pretty in the West. Well, I won't ever say pretty, but sitting number one in the West. But right behind them at number two, that aforementioned Memphis Grizzlies team, they're 4-6 in their last 10. Sacramento sitting in third place, only 2 games back of Memphis now at 33-25. They're 6-4 in their last 10, so they're making up a little ground. And fourth, the LA Clippers, who have attained Russell Westbrook, which we will talk about as well. 33-28. They're 6-4 in their last 10 as well. Phoenix Suns, 32-28, a respectable 7-3 in their last 10. And around out the top 6, the defenses of Dallas Mavericks at 32-29, 6-4 in their last 10 games. So, gentlemen, do you have any thoughts on the Western Conference?
Yeah, I'll start. I don't mind. We can keep this clockwork rotation going.
Let's go.
I think the top of the Western Conference is soft. I really believe that. And I mean that I think Denver is a very Utah-like team. The year that they were the number one seed. Let me finish. I promise you. I think Memphis is falling apart at the seams right now. Sacramento Kings will fall apart. They're just not built that way. I'm just being clear with you. I think that the best teams in the Western Conference are 5, which would be the Phoenix Suns. KD will be back soon. You'll have Golden State be Golden State. Don't worry. They're going to have everyone healthy come playoff time. They still are the defending world champions. I think that, when you look at it, I think Denver and Memphis are 3rd and 4th in the West. And I just believe that. I believe that the 2 teams to beat in the West are the Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns.
I have a sleeper team that I got to look out for if everything kind of breaks right. The Clippers. If everything breaks right for them, I think they can be a dark horse for the Western Conference Finals. If Kawhi Leonard plays. If Russell Westbrook, we got to see how he does with a change of scenery now, not being with the Lakers. You got Paul George. We know what he is when he actually on the floor. So that's a wild card for me that can give any team. I think they can give any team a run. Not saying that they're going to win. They're going to beat the Denver Nuggets or the Phoenix Suns, but they can extend a series. They can make life miserable for them if Kawhi Leonard is out there and healthy. But I'm gonna have to go with Golden State. I cannot rule out Golden State when Steph Curry comes back and when they get all their team. They have proven it. They have done it before, even when struggles, and you just can't count them out. If they get in, if they make it, I don't care if they make a play-in tournament. They're gonna find a way to sneak into that playoff format, and that's gonna be probably a low seed that's gonna knock out any top seed in the Western Conference.
They're in 10th right now, so as we sit today, they are in the play-in. Want to highlight a couple comments here. Brett says the issue the Warriors present is the Warriors shooters can expose the Nuggets, drop coverage, but they should still be able to handle Golden State. Kyle Edwards says Mike Brown has done a great job with the Kings. I agree. Karam says, the Kings don't have experience. So I think that echoes some of the same things that you guys have said and that we kind of agree with. You know, I think let me approach this angle. So I believe in all the sports. We talk about who's great, who's good, who's not. I believe you're as good as your record says, right? So if you're the top team by your record, I feel like you're the top team, right? Somebody else knocks you off and you knock down the second, third, whatever. That's where you're at, right? Because there's no doubt that I think Golden State would be higher if they had their complete team healthy. But unfortunately, it's the game of basketball. When other teams don't have the guys, we say, oh, they're not good. They haven't been good. When Golden State doesn't have their guys, the same people turn around and say, oh, but when they get everybody back. So a little duplicity and how we kind of view different teams. That's okay.
Can I throw a flag? I'm throwing a flag on the play. Can I throw a flag?
Throw your flag, sir.
It's bullshit. 10-yard penalty on the offense. You talking about a team that's won championships. They won the championship last year.
But they don't have all their players. It's not the same team. It's not the team because they don't have all their players. That's not the same team without Steph Curry.
My God, injuries happen.
So stop it.
Injuries happen.
Okay. But
so you're saying Steph Curry is hurt, as good as their record says, that's not accurate.
Curry is hurt. You say, oh, but Steph Curry comes back, they're going to be better. But with my Denver Nuggets and the other teams as well, people do it. If this person is hurt, then this team is not good. So here's the thing. If you're going to do it, be consistent with it. If you can't be consistent with it, why are you doing it?
Oh, you want me to answer? I answer that. Because the Warriors
have a rhetorical question, but
the Warriors have a championship pedigree. I don't have to be consistent with the Denver Nuggets team. They don't win anything in the playoffs.
They don't have a championship pedigree without Steph Curry. Name one championship they won without Steph Curry.
Yeah, but Steph Curry's not out for the year.
But he's out right now.
So does it mean that they're done?
So right now, they're the 10th best team in the NBA. When he comes back, maybe they move up. But right now, as they're currently constructed, they're the 10th best team because they don't have Steph Curry. That's my point.
We could talk about who the best team is right now, but who the best team is right now does not matter. It's who's the best team in April, May, and June.
We're talking about right now, though.
We're talking right now, Denver's the best team.
April, the best team. Actually, they're not the best team. The best team is Boston. But in April, May, and in June, we'll talk about who's the best team is at that point. But right now, we're doing the show today, so we're talking about who the best team is right now, who the best teams are. I'll say, not even just the best team, but the best teams are. And right now, Golden State is not one of those. As they elevate, when they get one of their better players back, then they'll be in the conversation. But until then, they're not.
Okay.
And I do think that Phoenix is going to move up with Kevin Durant.
Well, they're not good right now. Kevin Durant's not playing right now. Can't talk about that right now.
We can talk about the players that are there. They're in 5th place right now.
Kevin Durant's not there.
It's consistent with what I just said. They're as good as their record are. They're 5th best team. So they're in the top 6, which is what we are discussing. So we can't discuss them now. So Kevin Durant will make the team better offensively. Defensively, we'll see how that works. But as they stand right now, they are 5th place. They're only 10 games out of 1st place. They're only 4 games out of 2nd place. So being 4 games out of 2nd place right now without Kevin Durant, and then you bring in a talent as good as Kevin Durant, you should see a little movement from Phoenix, right? Because they're already in 5th place. And then we look at the Dallas Mavericks. This is the team that I'm not sure about. Dallas could drop to 10th with this Kyrie Luka pairing, or they could move into the 4th, 5th seed with this pairing. It depends on how they play. We know they're not going to play a lot of defense, right? I mean, we've seen that Kyrie's never been really invested since college in playing a lot of defense. But we never know. He's in a new place. He's in a new situation. Maybe he'll get in front of a couple of people, right? Maybe he'll run out there and put a hand up every once in a while. You never know. Because not to like he's too convinced, but I'm just saying. So Dallas is the one that I'm looking at like, they could be anywhere on the spectrum from like 4 to about 10 or 11, between now and the end of the season. So I'm curious to see how that plays out, for that specific team as well. And then just to highlight a few more comments we got here. Karam says he thinks Denver's coming out of the West. And then Brett says the bench is what's going to sink the Warriors, if anything. Not sure if the young guys are ready for a big load in the playoffs. well, it's not a bad take. Not a bad take at all.
It's not a bad take.
Not a bad take.
Listen, you'll say anything that will circumvent and come and back up your point. That bench, Brett, I love you, bro, but you're out of your damn mind. That bench, when everybody's back, is loaded. That's like the deepest team in the entire NBA. So if we're really saying this, right? If their starting lineup is Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Jonathan Kuminga, then that means their bench is Jordan Poole, Dante DiVincenzo, Kevon Looney, Marcus Moody. Like,
there's a Moody starting.
Gary Payton III's back. That's 10 deep of players that can play basketball.
Is it Looney starting?
No, Kuminga's starting right now.
Kuminga's starting at center?
Yeah. Kuminga, and they're starting Kuminga and Draymond right now.
Interesting.
But at the end of the day, like, you can't tell me that team's not beat deep. Gary Payton will be back. They got Gary Payton back. They got DiVincenzo coming off the bench.
And he's still out with the whole issue with his abdomen.
Yeah.
So he's not playing right now, is he?
GP2 isn't. He is going to be back by playoffs, though.
But I'm saying he's not. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah.
Is he not playing now? I'm not trying to make a point. I'm simply asking the question: is he back yet, or is he not?
No, he's not.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand, like, if he's back or not. That's all. I know he didn't. I don't remember seeing him last night, but I want to make sure if he was back or not. And then Key adds, GP2 isn't going to be back. He's hurt.
Yeah, and he just said yesterday that he hopes to be back for the playoffs.
I mean, I'm sure he would hope to be back for the playoffs. If I was him, I'd hope to be back for the playoffs too. But are the doctors going to clear him to be back for the playoffs?
He's the 9th guy on their team.
I'm just talking about what you say he said and responding to what Key said, that he isn't going to be back. All right. And then Michael Snowman says the Suns Bucks finals. I mean, hey, I'm sure Gene would agree with you. If you switch the Sixers in, he'd definitely agree with you.
No, that's not. I said Suns Celtics the last time we had this conversation.
But you wouldn't like to see the Sixers in the finals.
Of course, I would love to, but you asked if I give unbiased feedback. The 76ers are frauds come playoff time. I know that. I still root for them, but they are frauds. No difference between me and you, Cool. I could tell you my team's a fraud.
You know, there's a difference between me and you, Gene. I don't hate on anybody on your team.
That's the difference between me and your team.
You have came on this show and said that you hate on Jokic.
No, what I say is just very clearly, okay, that I think that Joel Embiid is a better player than Jokic, and I think the people that think that Jokic is a better player than Joel Embiid aren't really watching the sport of basketball.
That's hate.
It's not hate. Joel Embiid plays defense. He had 6 blocks last night. He's the better player. It's period. When they play each other, Joel Embiid dominates him. How are you going to tell me when two guys match up versus each other, when they match up for each other, Joel Embiid constantly gets the best of them? But it's like watching two guys play one-on-one at the court, and one guy always wins.
We're never watching them play one-on-one.
And one guy always wins.
We're not watching one-on-one. We're not playing one-on-one.
Who's your
and just to be clear, the MVP award is not decided because you play this guy, you play better when your teams play each other. The MVP award is decided by how you play for 82 games over a full season, not just when you match up against somebody.
That's fair.
Just to be clear. Just want to make sure everybody, just to be clear. And that's unbiased.
But I said that Joel Embiid was better than Nikola Jokic. I didn't say.
I don't think he's better. I think he's different.
He is better.
Your opinion is he's better. I think
no. Every time they play, he destroys him.
But that's not every game, every year. All you want to do is talk about when they play each other and the stat lines when they play each other.
Yo,
but they play other teams too.
Each other.
Hey, Gene, they play other teams.
Fight each other. And the one guy knocks the other guy out every time they fight. I'm gonna say the one guy's a better boxer.
That's not what's happening. There's no knockouts in basketball. First of all, is there? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Knockouts.
Are there any knockouts?
47-20 is a pretty knockout, though.
47-20.
So Embiid put on Jokic's ass last time they played.
Yeah, you're gonna continue to bring that up. I get it. That's your happy space. I get it.
My happy space.
My happy space is the MVP awards, the Michael Jordan Award that Jokic has, and that he's projected is probably going to get again this year.
That nerdy guys behind a counter vote on that don't know the sport.
Hey, man. You can say whatever you want about him, man. It's just more being me.
Not my
People who
MVP.
make decisions. It have to be your MVP, man. He's everyone else's. And that's what matters. But on to our next topic. So we did have this little thing this week. Oh, Coach, my bad.
No. All
I got thrown off here by
all I'm saying, no. All I'm saying, like, the user narrative just because someone say Jokic is better than Embiid, and to say use it to say you don't watch basketball, that's not a good narrative to use at all, right there. But I do got Embiid better than Jokic by the nose of football. But if Kuzma can't say Jokic is better than Embiid, would I give him an argument? No, I wouldn't give him an argument because he's just as good. The only difference is the defensive side of the ball. That's it. I think Jokic, them shooting is on par, dribbling. If you want to give it dribbling, can go either way. Way better passer. He don't have to score as much because he does got Jamal Murray, but he still leads the team in assists, rebounds, and points scored. He still does everything for his team. So, like, if you was I wouldn't be mad if they say Jokic is better than Joel Embiid, but I got Embiid by a nose of a football. I got Joel Embiid by a nose of a football, just a nose. That's it.
Go one comment down, Key.
Well, let me first. Key says we are a second round exit until further.
They are.
Michael Snowman says Embiid picks first in All-Star games. Jokic last. Tells you who the players think is better. So there's one unfactual piece of information that Jokic wasn't picked last. But
if Miami was to get the 6th seed and play with the Philadelphia 76ers, I'll be scared of that down matchup right there. I'll be scared of that first round matchup. I'll be scared of that matchup right there. So again, they are at the end of the day, the Sixers are frauds in the playoffs. They are frauds. They're second round and out team. Or depending on the matchup in the first round. If they get Miami in the first round, I think it's a good chance that Miami may end up beating them. I'm not going to say they're going to beat them, but it's a good chance the way Miami does play. But other than that, they're second round and out team.
I'm going to say this about Philadelphia. I think one of these years, and it may be this year, right? The right things are going to happen, and it's going to break right for Philly, and they're going to break through, right? Because if we talk about some of the better teams in the past of the NBA, you had whatever the roadblock was, whether it was yourself, whether it was a certain team you had to beat, whether it was coaching. It took a few years, but then you got over that hump. And at some point, Philadelphia's going to get over that hump because Embiid is a great player. James Harden seems
the greatest thing for this show ever would be if somehow the gods would grace us with the 76ers Nuggets finals. It would be heaven.
Yes, Lord.
It would be heaven.
It would be. It definitely would be. I don't think the basketball guys would allow us to have this pleasure, though, sir. If y'all make it, I don't think they'll let us make it. If we make it, I don't think they'll let y'all make it. I just think the basketball guys would be like, we're not doing that. We're not giving them that pleasure. So Brett says, I don't think Moody is playoff ready. Kuminga is a negative defender, and there's a reason he got 8 minutes a game last year. GP2, who knows he will look come playoff time, he will probably have to work out rust. All right. And then he also adds, Brett, that I know he was a rookie and he's improved, but I'm not sold on Kuminga being playoff ready. All right. And then Michael says, Jokic is awesome. Actually, he wasn't picked at all. He walked up. Haha. He is amazing, though. That is true, Michael. That is true. So he wasn't picked last, is all I said. And that would be incredible, Brett says. I'm just ready for the year when the Houston Rockets get in this conversation too, and Coach Dante be up here, right? I'm ready for that.
Hey man, that's the organization. They ain't out. That's organization. I ain't a part of that damn organization.
But that would. I'm just saying that would be dope. Like if
definitely. If the Rock was in this conversation, I would love to have this conversation. Hell yeah, if the Rock was in this conversation.
All right. And Karan says, watch out for his thunder in the future. Hey, when you got a bona fide, certified star that can get his buckets, you know what I'm saying? It always makes a difference. I like the fact he does a lot of it at the line too. SGA does a lot of it at the line, which means he's attacking the goal, which means he's playing hard and he's absorbing the contact and either finishing through it or getting to the line and making buckets. So I love to see players play like that. And I like the way he's, in my opinion, evolved since he's been in the league, and he's definitely going to be nice for years to come. Would you like any thoughts on that, Gene?
No, I love SGA. I can't wait to talk about the All-Star game and how SGA told LeBron what time it was.
Oh, yeah. It was one of the only semi-aggressive moments in that game. But
I love it.
Yep.
Because I got some bold, strong statements about your boy LeBron James. I know it's not your boy, but I'm hoping some Lakers fans will listen because I got some really strong statements.
Hey, somebody tag Freddie, y'all. Somebody tag Freddie. Freddie and Jordan. I feel you, G.
They're going to be mad. Y'all can tag Freddie. Y'all can tag the judge. Get the judge up in here. Jordan, Homer. I don't care who you put in here. Whoever you want. I'm going to say some LeBron slander tonight.
I'm always here for it, man. I enjoy both sides of it, man. I'm here for it. But let's start off with the with Friday night. So Friday night, of course, we had the celebrity game, and then we had the Rising Stars, I guess, game or challenge or
Yep.
So we'll continue to clockwise, Gene. So talk to us, man. What were your thoughts on those two events?
I loved every minute of Friday night. Every single minute of Friday night, I loved. They had real celebrities this year, unlike what Cleveland did when they ran out Machine Gun Kelly and Myles Garrett as their top two celebrities. Absolute fraudulent. I loved the celebrity game. It was great. I wish the Mike the Miz shot would have been like a half a second earlier because that was an incredible way to end it. And the Rising Stars Challenge was my absolute favorite of All-Star Weekend. I love the 14 format. I love the fact that they put the G League team in there. And you got to watch NBA stars be like, this G League team ain't beating us. No way. And you actually watch good basketball. My favorite part about Friday night was my man, Grand Theft Alvarado. I loved him, man. His attitude, the way he plays the game. I'm a walked right up and said, I'm a hit this game winner if I touch this ball. And then he did it. Right up to Spider Mitchell. He said, I'm going to hit this game winner. They gave me the opportunity and then did it. It was great. Every piece of Friday night, you asked in the chat what I would change about Friday night. And the answer is just don't have it in Utah anymore. Other than that, absolutely nothing.
Hey man, me and Cool, we talked about this last night on comment stream. The way, the rookies, the way they play, the Rising Stars play. I remember, man, Scoop, that's so competitive. Now, Scoop Henderson, who's going to be a top prospect in the draft, you want to know how serious those elites were, those G League elites was? Scoop Henderson literally on the first play come out and try to reverse dunk it and make a statement on Jabari Smith immediately until he got blocked, until he got drawn a foul. They came out there to show something. They came out there to beat them. And I like the way, it was competitive all throughout the time. It was really some seriousness in that game. You had Jabari Smith still had a chip on his shoulder with Pablo Banchero. You had all the guys guarding each other, competitiveness, and the celebrity game. DK Metcalf and Calvin Johnson in the paint with each other. It was a hell of a battle. I'm telling you, I was looking at that battle all day long, and that's a hell of a
like Jokic in the beat in the post.
Man, my Rockets can use DK right now. Can use some damn toughness on that team right now. So at the end of the day, man, I like both of those events, man. Both of those events was especially DK and Calvin. Calvin, for his age, he can play some basketball. He can definitely get up. And those rookies, man, and those G League Uniteds, they can ball, man. Them guys can ball. Scoop Henderson gonna be a top prospect in this NBA draft. That guy's for real. That guy's for real.
And his sister's nice too, right? Because his sister's a high school senior this year. And her jersey got retired while she's still on the team.
Yep.
That's how nice she is.
Yep.
So that's a balling family. You know what I'm saying? They ball.
The one criticism I'll give was it Team Dayron that was the G League at night? Whose team was that?
Jason
Terry.
Yeah, that was Jason Terry.
Right? Yeah.
The
The
biggest
G League.
criticism I can give them, and I watched that and I wanted to see more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
They were not playing team basketball until they let Mac McClung run point guard.
Yeah.
They were playing, I'm trying to show and make a name for
Yep.
myself. Kenny Lofton Jr. just shooting from anywhere. Scoot just driving and not dishing. I watched them play, and it was just like, it's my turn to try to make a name for myself instead of playing team basketball and winning. I think that they could have played a little bit more together, and it would have made a bigger statement for them to win versus what they tried doing.
Yeah.
Hey, that makes sense, man. Brett says careful with the LeBron slander. Gonna get Freddie in here going nuts. Keith says Kenny Lofton Jr. Then she follows it up with he's gonna be a stud. Definitely agree. Gene, you made some great points. I agree with everything actually both of y'all said. The one change I would make is I would make the Rising Stars on Sunday because that's the actual good game instead of this mess that we saw.
Yeah.
So that's the only change I would make. But I completely agree.
Yeah.
Friday night, dope, right?
Yeah.
Friday night, amazing. Everything you will want. Such a great setup, jump off for the All-Star, Utah. But you know, that is what it is. It's got to be somewhere, right? All right. So Gene's hitting them with the tags for Freddie and Tony. I love this, man. I love this. Even with me and Gene going at it, man. Inside, I'll still be laughing. I love it, man. I love it. Because Gene
I love you,
every
too,
day,
bro.
and I love it, man.
I love you too. This is sports talk, my guy.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Even
And Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan ain't gonna say nothing. Jonathan gonna tell you how it is on the Lakers. Jonathan, the only one that gonna tell you how it is. Freddie gonna come out and try to defend the Lakers as much as he can. He gonna try to make you think that they are really getting it together and that they're really good. Jonathan, he ain't gonna say nothing. He gonna get up. He ain't gonna say nothing. He ain't Freddie at all.
This has nothing to do with the Lakers as a whole. It's all LeBron slander, and I'm going to get into it, and I'll break that down when we get into Saturday and Sunday.
I got you. All right. So, hey, I mean, let's just go ahead and move on to Saturday. My first complaint about Saturday is why do we have a practice where we don't even have teams for the All-Star game? That's my complaint. From there, I'll let you take it, G.
A million complaints about Saturday night. A million. Thank God for Mac McClung putting up some ridiculous dunks to make it still entertained. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually thought the dunk contest was a lot better than I expected it to be. I loved Kenyon Martin Jr. I just enjoyed it. I think everybody put out good dunks. That's not the point, right?
Yeah.
The skills competition is completely watered down and stupid.
That was bad.
Trash.
Team Antetokounmpo. It was so weird. It's amazing to me how NBA professionals can't make bunnies for points. They just keep missing them. That's not for here nor there. The 3-point contest is not broke, so there's no reason to change that. I love what they did. I even love the Mountain Dew ball, the long distance ball that gets you to 3 points. Dame Lillard hit like 4 out of 5 of them, or like 3 out of 6 of them, whatever it was. That's not where I'm missing. Where I'm missing is Ja Morant was asked Friday what it would take for it to get him in a dunk contest, and he said $1 million. He said $1 million. LeBron James has made it not cool to do the dunk contest. And this is the first of many multiple criticisms I'm going to give LeBron James tonight. LeBron James has made it not cool to do dunk contest. Where did it stop? Where did the superstardom stop? Kobe did a dunk contest. Vinsanity did a few. Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins. All these guys did dunk contests. LeBron James just bailed on it, and it got worse and worse. And they kept trying to get NBA stars to do it. Iguodala, they start drifting. Aaron Gordon, they start drifting. They had the Nate Robinson experiment for a few years, And it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And this year, I got Jericho Sims. Are you out of your freaking mind? He did a dunk and gave himself a 50, and nobody in the crowd stood up. It was the dumbest dunk. It made no goddamn sense. And LeBron could have done this and made it popular, and other people could have followed in his footsteps. I think LeBron James, it's like, the whole Spider-Man line, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think with the power that LeBron James has had over the years, he's done great things for the NBA. He's done great things for the culture. He's done great things for schooling. He's done great things for the NBA PA. But one of the biggest problems and mistakes LeBron James has had is he's made it. He's almost single-handedly killed rivalries. There's no rivalries in the NBA no more. There's no Alonzo Mourning versus Patrick Ewing in the Knicks anymore. There's no Lakers Celtics. It's just like, oh, they're all buddy-buddy and they're shaking each other's hands. And LeBron and Jason Tatum are friends, and Bron's friends with everybody. There's no hatred in the game anymore. Michael Jordan didn't want to be your friend, and Giannis is trying to bring that back. Giannis doesn't work out with these dudes. He doesn't practice with these dudes. He doesn't want anything to do with these guys. That's what competition is. You're the enemy.
Yeah.
And I think LeBron has destroyed the dunk contest. And I think, if I'm being honest with you, he's destroyed the All-Star game also. Destroyed it.
Well, I'm going to just hop here real quick. So, Jonathan.
First of all, I definitely 1,000,000% agree with Gene. Nobody was sold on that damn dunk that Jericho Sims did. But the most bad part about it, he supposed to dunk the ball and grab the 50 grab the 50 after. He ended up grabbing the net, tearing his hand through the net, and the 50 actually threw up. The 50 actually threw up. Oh, there, and no, you can see nobody's standing up. No players are standing up. The judges wasn't sold on it. KJ Martin and Troy Murphy and put on a hell of a show too. But Matt McClung kind of woke everybody up with that. He woke them up all night long. Troy Murphy put down some outstanding dunks. KJ Martin put down a couple of outstanding dunks as well. Again, the rookies, they stunk in the rookie. They stunk in that skill. You mean to tell me you can't make one outside shot? You cannot make one outside shot. They can rarely pass. They can rarely pass the ball. They can rarely do a skills pass. They can rarely do skills passes. They forgot which direction to go when you're dribbling the basketball. They forgot which direction to go. It was a mess in those challenges. But still in the show was Matt McClung, man. I thought he was excellent, man, and he was definitely on another level. But Jericho Sims and those rookies kind of missed that weekend up for me a lot. Those events for me, and I liked the 3-point shooter. I thought that was kind of solid with Damian Lillard showing that he's definitely one of the best shooters in the league. And Tyrese Halliburton hit 31 3-pointers. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna hop through some of these comments here real quick. So Timmy Todd gives us a laugh. Jonathan's here. He says, "Gene, what's up?" Says he loves y'all. Much love for you. Love you too, Jonathan.
That's good, Jay.
And then also with agreeing to when Gene was talking about the whole situation with LeBron and some of those things. All right, then we got Kyle. The skills competition just lets us know that Thanasis and Alex are only near the NBA because of Giannis.
True.
That's 1,000% correct. Kyle also says that LeBron knew he would get beat, and I agree with that too, Kyle. But here's the thing: even if LeBron got in a dunk contest and he lost, just him being in it gets more people watching. The thing is, I think starting with him and moving forward, so many guys have the mind state of whether they think they can win or not. I mean, I'm not gonna say if the man can think they can win or not, but just do it once. Just get out there one time. If you stink it up, oh well, you still LeBron James. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing that they wasn't already saying about you. Ain't nobody that already liked you gonna say, oh, he wasn't good in dunk contest, so he can't be the greatest player playing now or all time or whatever. And so it doesn't really make a difference. But you do bring so many eyes, and that's what I think is missing. as well as like the showmanship. Like I just don't see the same like showmanship. I mean, it's just like what I said last night. It's just no je ne sais quoi anymore. It's just not there. But it was better than it has been for the last couple of years. The last couple of years, you've been like, bruh. And I got to be honest with y'all, I didn't watch it live. I was watching the XFL game. I went back and watched it later when it came back on later on. I didn't watch it live because I was like, I'm gonna watch the XFL. And that's the NBA's fault. It's not my fault. It's the NBA's fault because they pushed me there. But I did watch the 3-point contest, and I completely agree with everything else, that y'all were saying. Keith says that Sims was whack. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. Jonathan gives me what's up, Jonathan. You get 1-2 here, Coach Dante.
What's good, Jonathan?
All right, and Kyle says Jordan Clarkson also acted like he was too cool to be there. True. I agree with you. He should have done the contest for sure in regards to LeBron. And then the dunk contest needs Ja and Zion. So, Kyle, I have one person that I do not want to do the dunk contest, and that's Zion Williamson. I don't even want Zion to dunk in the games no more, my bro. He said she was watching the XFL too. The reason is he's injury prone. So I don't want him doing anything that he doesn't have to do, like dunking and stuff like that. I'd rather him stay away from the dunk contest, show up when he's actually healthy, be an all-star. Don't do anything where you can get hurt. So Zion is the one guy I would say, don't do the contest, bro. That's just me. And as far as changes, anything y'all would change about Saturday night?
Yeah, everything. Outside the 3-point contest, everything. The skills competition was watered down crap.
Yeah.
I don't like the way it's set up. It needs to be a longer obstacle course the way it was prior. They need to go back to individuals and not these relay races with teams.
Yep.
And I think that the dunk contest needs to have superstars in it. I would rather watch Ja Morant throw down 42 dunks, like a 42 instead of a 50, than watch KJ Martin throw down 48s. I don't care, man. I don't care about Jericho Sims at all. I don't care what he does. I want to watch a superstar dunk. I don't care if it's not an original dunk. I want to watch those guys go through the air. Yeah, man. I would change everything. The collective man, listen, I'll put it to you this way. The NBA as a whole is a players' league, and I respect that about the league. But the players have to know when to give back. The league is giving them everything. They wanted extra time to recover before and after the All-Star break. They gave them extra time to recover before and after the All-Star break. They wanted to have different things added to All-Star weekend. They did different things for All-Star weekend. I love that they had the HBCU game on before the All-Star game. I love that. They're doing things for the right reasons. They can advocate well, but they can't at least try in a damn All-Star game. That was the worst basketball game I've ever watched in my entire life. I swear to God, I turned the game off mid-second quarter. I said, cool, can you please tag me when the fourth quarter starts? And I turned the fourth quarter on. It was not much better. It stunk. It was awful.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, yeah, he gonna be mad when you get to the fourth quarter too. But
I'd rather watch LA Fitness basketball. I swear to God. I'd rather go to the gym and watch guys that just play hard and want to play basketball. High school basketball. Don't show me that bullshit ever again. That no defense bullshit.
Hey, I wasn't watching the game. I was watching the Defenders versus the Sea Dragon XFL. I was watching that. I was watching those two teams go at it.
I may have flipped back and forth a few times. May or may not have. But yeah. So a few comments here we'll hop on too. So Key says the All-Star game needs to go back to East versus West. Hey, preaching to the choir here. I know we ain't got to the All-Star game yet, but hey, we know it's coming. And let the All-Star win mean something. I agree with that too. And I have
why not
something for that. Brett says Ja, Levine, and Gordon dunk contest will be goaded. I mean, I don't even know you can get Aaron Gordon to do it anymore after the way they did him.
Yeah, especially that last time. After that.
Way
They
wrong
robbed
for
him
that.
that last time.
Yeah, way wrong for that. So Michael says this is the best dunk contest since 2016. Still needs to be better though. McClung was fun, but I want to see NBA stars in the actual event. Gene was just touching on that as well. And then Kyle says he would take Anthony Edwards, Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine if Ja doesn't want to do it. Those are not bad choices. And the thing is, think about the names he said. And think about the names that would have been brought up. Zion, Ja, LaVine, Gordon, Anthony Edwards. These are all guys that you at least know, right? You at least like, I'll watch it to see what this dude is going to do. A lot of these people that are doing the contest, it's like Gene said, I don't care. I'm sorry, but I don't care. And it's not a knock to them, but you don't have a day that makes me care. You know, I think for the dunk contest, they need to go back to 8 people. We need to go back to you get a dunk. If you miss it, you get one more chance and that's it. Right? Come on, man. We get what, 30 seconds, minute, whatever, for you to make a dunk. If you can't make the dunk in 2 opportunities, man, if you can't make the dunk in the first opportunity, do something basic, get your points, and let's run with it. We don't need to be here forever. We don't need that.
Last year, Obi Toppin beat Juan Toscano Anderson in the finals after Jalen Green and Cole Anthony were eliminated in the open round. Jalen Green is the only name on that list that I care any lick about. Juan Toscano Anderson, Cole Anthony? Are you out of your freaking mind?
Yo.
They got a damn G Leaguer. I can watch dunk competitions. There's dunk competitions all around the world. You know, they get no publicity. And you know why? Because nobody cares.
Yeah.
They want to see Ja dunk.
But the thing is, Jalen Green at least did the dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? Like you at least said, let me see what Jalen Green gonna do. And you're right about that. It's just crazy that more of these young guys, and the thing is, you do it your first or second year, right? Just do it once or twice. You ain't gotta do it no more. You want to do it again, cool, but come in year 1, year 2, like Jalen Green did. Do it. It helps you get notoriety as well because people say, oh, that's the young cat I heard about. His dunks is nice. You know? But,
Anthony Simons, Cassius Stanley. Are y'all for real? Like the last few years, it's just like, man, I don't even know some of these guys are in a damn league.
And they need to go back to 8 people too. Definitely need to go back to 8. We need more just bodies. And then Key says Cole Anthony dunked in Tim's. He did. It was not impressive, no, but he did. And Brett says Lakers legend Juan Toscano Anderson.
That's a joke, man.
That is definitely a joke. But no, man, it's a lot wrong with Saturday night. And I agree. You know, they need to go back to the skills competition individually, give it more time, go to that individually dunk contest, and you go back to 8 people, make it or don't, and entice some of these young guys, you know, to come in and play. Some of these guys from the G League at night. I wouldn't mind having 1 or 2 of those if we're going to go back to 8, because then we could put some of the extra people in. But this 4 people thing, first of all, that's crap. And the people that you're getting, it's not like you're getting 3 stars and somebody we don't know. We're getting like people we don't know. So you got to do better. You have to appeal to the casual NBA fan.
Can I make one last comment on dunk contest?
You can make as many comments as you like about the
How is the NBA so tone deaf? The NBA is so tone deaf that they had Karl Malone as one of the judges 2 weeks after the controversial situation came out that he impregnated a 13-year-old when he was 20 years old. Are y'all that tone deaf? That's statutory rape. Are you out of your mind? What are we thinking?
And the kid was, you know, a player on our Eagles team.
I think like on that for us on that, like when you them skill drills, they should go back to individual on them instead of the team part. Like, you know, when they first start out the skills competition, I liked the way they did it at first, because when you did have the teams, but you have a WNBA star representing each and every one of those teams. You know how they take a shot and then they take the half court shot for the last one. I like that. And then, you know, as far as dribbling the ball, you know, doing the passing drill, I think they should go back individual with them. I think they should stop the teams on that one. And how it first started, you know, get a WNBA player off each one of those teams that's representing, and go back to the half court shot when they make when it's the last shot, and then they shoot from the corner, they make a layup, then the last shot is the half court shot, and then go back to individuals on those skill drills. They should go back to individuals on them.
Agreed.
Get an WNBA more exposure. You know, I'm a WNBA guy, so definitely.
That's what they used to do. They used to do that.
But then they decided to have teams, and guess what team is
all
always
the
there?
teams,
It's always team Antetokounmpo every year.
Yep.
So any other thoughts on Saturday night? Good. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna roll on over to Sunday. And you know, for this, sir.
I've had a good week. I've really had a good week. I had a great week at work. I've been smiling all week. We went to the gym, eating healthy. I feel good. Y'all just making me mad back to back to back. This NBA All-Star game, and Mike Malone's, yo, listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. There's something we'll agree on. I love Mike Malone. I love Mike Malone. I think he's one of the top 2 coaches in NBA right now. I believe that. His comments after the All-Star game were spot on. I don't know how you can fix this. This is terrible. It's hard to sit through. That's the coach of the All-Star game. They don't care. This is a product that's for your fans. That's what it's for. Can y'all try a little bit? I am so baffled. And once again, I bring it back to, and I hate saying this, but leaders lead. Leaders lead. LeBron James ruined this, man. I'm going to bring you back to an All-Star game. And I said this on Wire to Wire, and I'll say it here. I'm going to bring you back to an All-Star game, and I forget what year it is, but I guarantee you, as soon as I mention a moment, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Kobe Bryant was trying to one-up LeBron James. He was trying to match up with him. He smacked the court, tried to defend him. LeBron shot a fall away and then passed off on defending him. I remember it in the All-Star game. It was like he didn't want to get embarrassed. He was so worried about getting embarrassed that he didn't, like, Kobe was trying to go at him. That's what we want to see. We want to see 2 guys go one. I don't care if you don't have to play hard-nosed defense. You don't have to hard foul anyone.
Yeah, we needed that.
But I want to watch the best players line up versus each other like I would watch at a gym. When I watch 2 guys want to go at each other. When one guy smacks the court and he's like, smacks the floor and he's like, let's go. And I just can't get behind this crap. And listen, you know how to fix it, right? You want to know how to fix it, right? Put stakes on a game. Somebody said East-West with the winner getting home court advantage like the MLB did. I got another thing. Why don't you do USA versus the world? And I'll tell you right now, these world boys, they would 100% try to show out for their countries. Have them wear their country's logos. Have Joel Embiid repping Cameroon. Have Luka Doncic. You would have a world team with SGA, Luka, Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and that world team.
Jokic would be on that team.
You could create an all-star team with the world.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys.
And you can create an all-star team with America. Steph, LeBron, KD,
Jamal Murray,
Ja Morant.
World team.
But my point being is, if you have a USA versus the world, I don't think the United States players would like the ass whooping that the world gave them, so they eventually have to start trying.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go through all the comments, but I got to throw this one up here. So we would get the Nanas, we get the Nassus and Alex with Giannis in the All-Star game. Kyle, chill, bro.
The world would have a team, though, bro. They would
They
have
would.
a team.
All jokes aside, they would have a team.
You could even put Buddy Hield on the world.
Yep, he's
from
yep. He's
Yeah,
very
he's
good.
from the Bahamas. He from the
Bahamas.
Bahamas. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
agree. I mean, that's not a bad idea either. That was the other idea that I kind of like as well. So that's not a bad idea either. But I feel like you got to do one of those two things. What we're doing now, this whole draft clown mess, and then whoever just picks whoever and all this,
Yep.
you know. And Giannis,
That was
he's not
such
even.
you could tell that was acting, and that was such terrible. You could tell that they picked these guys out beforehand, and there was a mistake made. No one's going to catch the mistake that was made, but the mistake was made when Jokic went on Team LeBron. He wasn't supposed to get picked by Team LeBron because Jokic was supposed to go against Joel Embiid. What happened was Jokic said afterwards, like, I thought I was the only guy left. I really didn't realize that Lauri Markkanen was still up there.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Markkanen going to Team LeBron and Jokic going to Team Giannis, and they were supposed to match them up, big man versus big man. It was pre-picked. You could tell when Giannis was like, I'll take Ja Morant in like the reserves draft.
Yep. And they had to know they had to notify him he's a starter already.
Yeah, like you could tell it was, and it's just terrible acting. It's just
I think that, but
and the fact that he went in the third round in the alternate draft, and Giannis thought he was still there in the third round if he was an alternate, is even more beyond me.
Yep.
Like, wait, you took, I know you're going to take Drew Holiday and Dame Lillard, and you're going to take Ja Morant in the third round?
Oh my goodness.
So we're going back to the Karl Malone thing. I'll catch up on the comments here. Brett says, not only was he a judge, but the fact that they had him front and center on stage for the LeBron ceremony, Gene's Wright completely tone deaf by the NBA. And then he also adds, Karl Malone should not have been honored.
Should be in jail.
Yes, right. Yeah. Brett also says that was the 2016, he believes, Kobe's final year. I did do Kyle's earlier. Then Brett says, go at each other like Hardaway Jr. and Deion Waiters at the Rising Star game in 2013. Give me a few of those moments at least. Agreed.
Hey, I remember one moment in the All-Star game. Gene, I'm going to see if you're going to remember this. You remember when Kobe Bryant got a bloody nose because of Dwayne Wade actually hit him in the nose?
Yes.
Right there, trying to guard them right there, and then they both shook it out. But that's what we talking about, competitiveness right there. Dwayne, this man Kobe Bryant got his nose busted in the All-Star game.
And
Literally, that's how competitive them guys was, and that was during the time that was East and West. I think they do need to go back to that, and you want to put a little stake on them, you can, like with Cool was saying yesterday. Hey, winner that game, winner East and West, home court advantage in the NBA Finals. Home court advantage in the NBA Finals. I don't care who has the better record. Home court advantage. Just make it mean something. Maybe they'll play East and West or Team World versus USA. That's gonna be that may be competitive. Ain't nobody gonna want to get outplayed and want to get outdid and get embarrassed.
Or maybe you rotate them. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe you go Team USA versus Team World one year, East versus West one year, just to kind of switch it up a little bit.
The All-Star
Everything's better than what they're doing now.
The All-Star game that you're talking about with Wade and Kobe Bryant, a week later they played each other.
Yep.
Dwayne Wade talked about this. Kobe dropped 48 on him in that game.
Yep.
That's Kobe.
It's just like, but like that's what we miss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got players mic'd up. I don't want to hurt them.
Yeah. It feels like Kobe was like the last of that group that just was like, I'm a dog. I'm gonna go out here and, not saying I'm gonna hurt anybody, but I'm gonna go out here and actually play. Like I'm playing in a game, an All-Star game.
But LeBron was where the mantle got passed to, bro.
I know. And that's where
And
we're
that's where it
at.
ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, and then we get Jericho's comment here. Jericho sends a center from Brett, and then Key says they played hard. Let's get one of Keys. They played hard when Kobe died, when they had to get a certain amount of points to win. Well, see, they're still doing that, Key. That was good for 1 year, but it's not sustainable.
Yep.
It's not.
It's just not.
It's an embarrassing. It's an embarrassment to the NBA that these guys are the highest paid athletes per player in all professional sports. They've gotten every deal that they've wanted. They've gotten every single they've won in every collective bargaining agreement. Every single thing NBA players do, the NBA players run the league, and that's not a bad thing. But there's some things that they're just tone deaf on. And NBA All-Star Weekend that's supposed to be for the fans is no longer, it's a travesty. It's almost as bad as the flag football exhibition that the NFL puts on.
Yep.
I kind of like the flag football thing, though. I thought it was kind of, I thought it was kind of cool. But it was still more defense played than that, way more than what we get in the All-Star game.
Correct.
That's just.
I mean, I didn't mind that either. They were in helmet can pass. It was bad. They wasn't covering nobody. At least in the Pro Bowl with them flags on, they were trying to look being competitive. They were making them do drills and stuff, throwing the ball at each other. They were being competitive. Now at least they were doing that. Then you had Peyton versus Eli. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, and then you had the cumulative points. You know what I'm saying? Like every event mattered because you had the cumulative points. So I kind of, I mean, it wasn't great. Like I wasn't like, oh, that's the most amazing thing ever. But I guess after seeing what they put on the last 5-10 years, it's like the greatest Pro Bowl we've seen. So
Bro,
that could be part of it too.
They had in the Pro Bowl? You couldn't play zone defense. You couldn't blitz. Like, are you for real? Like, what is this?
Yeah. It was Coach Dante about to choke over there.
Coach knows.
Yeah, it was bad. The way they playing defense and the way they playing this NBA All-Star game, it's worse than that.
Yes.
And that's what's sad. I didn't think you could get worse than that, but they found a way. So I guess in a weird, sick way, kudos. I don't know. Kyle agrees with you with the USA versus World. Put the finals home court on the line with you guys with no chance to make the finals care. So here's the thing, Kyle. A lot of people have asked that question. For me, the answer would be everybody thinks their team is going to make it All-Star break, right? If you're in that group, right? If you're in the top about 4 to 5 teams in the East or the West, or you're in one of the teams that, me and Gene going back for but if you're one of the teams like a Golden State, where a serious piece of your team is missing, and you feel like if you can get him back, you might can get a run, get the right matchups, so you can make something happen. You're going to play to try to get that, right? Because you want that. You want to have a home court. Home court matters there. So I think both sides would have enough people that would play where the coaches could figure out, all right, let me put these 5 dudes in to try to close this thing out and actually get this win and have some guys play hard. So that would be my thought process on it. Maybe I'm giving the NBA players too much credit, but that would be my thought. I guess no thoughts from you guys. So a couple more things we had to talk about tonight. One of the things was your top 5, and I didn't make this clear, so I apologize, but your top 5 current shooting guards.
So I got for me, I got Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Devin Booker. I have Bradley Beal. I have Bradley Beal as a top 5 shooting guard, Anthony Edwards.
Define shooting guard.
You say what?
I said define shooting guard.
Divine shooting guard, someone that can spot up and shoot and put the ball on the floor. Basically combo guard.
My point being is, would you consider James Harden a 2?
He can play 2 and 1. He can play both.
He's been playing the 2 for the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey starts at the 1. Now Tyrese Maxey's coming off the bench, so now James Harden's starting at the 1. So when I'm making my top 5, are we counting James Harden?
Yeah, if you want to count him, he can play 2. If you want to count him, he can play 2. He can combo guard. He can play 2. His normal position is a 2.
I go Spider 1, Harden 2, Booker 3. Then it gets tough. I'll go Jaylen Brown and then Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
That would be my 5 in order. Spider 1, Harden 2, and Booker 3 is the main. And then the 2 other ones is just, there's so many people you can put, like Bradley Beal, You can consider him. It's a lot of other guys. DeJounte Murray, Zach LaVine, their next little drop off. But I really love Jaylen Brown's game. I'm gonna be a Jaylen Brown. I wish he wasn't a Celtic. I hope he goes somewhere else. He probably never will, but I'm a Jaylen Brown fanboy. I love the way he plays the game. He's super, super intelligent.
Yep.
So these don't have to be in order, but I'll go definitely Devin Booker. Definitely go Donovan Mitchell. I agree completely down. Probably throw Zach LaVine in there, and then Edwards. That's the 5 I would. You know, and shout out to James Harden. For me, James Harden, I'm looking more. He plays both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see that. Yeah,
Man,
he's basically a
But
combo. He's basically a
I don't
combo
have a
guard.
beef with you putting him in your list.
Yeah, that's why I'm. Yeah, he's a combo guard
Yeah.
basically.
So I don't have a beef with you putting him in your list. But yeah. But I think it's we have a lot of great two guards, right? A lot of guys that really can play their position very well. So I'm glad that we have, and it's a mixture. Like, you know, you got young guys. Brown has only been in the league a few years. Edwards, second year here, you know, in the league. So you got some young guys. You got some guys who've been around a while. Kind of mix it together. So I love that that blend, especially at the top. You're looking at about the top 10 guys. So I did 5 specifically. So we have to make some decisions.
Brett, I follow the PG-13 comment. I do. I know he's played the 2 for the Clippers. I just can't.
But he's a small forward, though.
Yeah, I can't see
He's a
that,
small
man.
forward. He's not a normal 2 guard. He's a small
Yeah.
forward. You can't put him in the 2 guard situation just because he's playing it right now. He's not. He's a small forward.
I agree. That's
He's
my
a legit small forward. Kawhi Leonard, he's a legit small forward.
Yeah, it's more like those are more like wing guys. If we were saying wings, I consider them more. But hey, if you want to put him in your list, Brett, he is technically playing the position now, so I wouldn't knock you, but I definitely would put him in my list. So yeah, there's that. Then we got we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but who do you think makes the Eastern and Western Conference Finals? So those 2 teams are going to play in the East, and the 2 teams are going to play in the West.
I said it earlier. I like Boston, Milwaukee in the East, and in the West, I'm going Golden State versus Phoenix. In a series that would be just the most televised basketball series you could ever watch. If you have Golden State striving at the right time with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, and then you throw them in a series against CP3, who constantly gets in bickering arguments with Steph Curry, showing him up, doing the like that. KD, who used to play on Golden State, it is the series that every basketball fan deserves to watch. It's like heaven to watch that series if they're all healthy. I'm going to go Golden State versus Phoenix, and I'm going to go Milwaukee versus Boston, 2 most complete teams in the East by a long shot.
I'm going to go Denver. I'm going to go Denver versus Golden State. I don't trust Phoenix. I just can't put my trust in Phoenix at all, but I know I think Denver right now is the best team in the Western Conference. As of right now, it's constructed today. I'm going to go Denver and Golden State, and I'm going to go Milwaukee and Boston. I think Boston may be the most complete team in the Eastern Conference because they can throw multiple things at Milwaukee. They got guys. They got guys they can't defend Giannis, but they can make him work for everything. In a 7-game series, that all them different bodies that Giannis got to see and try to go through, that's going to wear Giannis out, and someone's going to have to be able to step up. If it's a Drew Holiday or something like that, Bobby Portis or Brook Lopez, somebody's going to have to step up. But I like Boston. I think they're the most complete team in the Eastern Conference, so I got Boston and Milwaukee, and I'm gonna go with Denver and Golden State until proven someone can knock out Golden State.
I'm going actually with the same as Coach Dante, but one thing I want to add that I agree about what Gene said. I think they're going to play before the finals. I think they're going to play in the second round. I think we're going to see Phoenix and Golden State in the second round, and I think Golden State is going to beat Phoenix. but that is going to be the most watched matchup of that round because that is a good matchup. And I do agree fans deserve to see it, and I think they will see it. It just won't be in the conference finals.
I get it because you can't put your team versus better than either one of them. So I get it. Because if they played before the Western Conference Finals, they'd 4-1 Denver.
So see,
I try to keep a straight face when I do that shit.
So see, this
I love you.
This everybody that's watching is when someone tries to goad you, and you decide to be the bigger person. That's what I'm doing right now. So I appreciate that. Thank you for those extra comments, Gene. So next we got your sleeper team to make the playoffs and win a series. So however you want to define that, obviously we're talking about teams that would be on the lower half, but you know, a team that you think that, you know, can get into the playoffs and then can win a series against one of the top 4 teams in the East or the West.
Does Golden State count?
If they're not in the top 4, yeah.
I mean, Golden State's the easy answer for the West, right?
It's the lazy answer, yeah.
I'll give the lazy answer. If New Orleans somehow gets healthy, though, the New Orleans Pelicans can be a problem, man.
Okay.
Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum, Grand Theft Alvarado, Trey Murphy. I love that team. I really do.
They've gotten really deep, man. I feel like it's happened overnight.
And in the Eastern Conference, I don't know, bro. They all stink.
You don't have to pick one of these.
Miami's not in the top 4, so Miami I'm going to give is my lazy answer because Miami does have playoff pedigree. But I think what they're missing, and I think I didn't get a chance to kind of retort this to Coach because I don't necessarily disagree with his statement that they would give Philadelphia problems because Philadelphia for years has been soft and Miami plays a tough brand of basketball. So I think they give a problem. But I think what Miami's missing is I think they're missing just a huge presence. Jimmy Buckets can't be just your only guy. And if you're going to sell me on Tyler Hero being your number 2 scorer, Bam Adebayo's never been that guy. He just never has. He's been good. I think that they lost a lot of toughness when they lost PJ Tucker last year. I think that Kyle Lowry is just a corpse. It just needs to hang it up. But I'll go Miami to win a series. Well, I'm just telling the truth.
No, him and DeAndre Jordan too.
Yeah. I love Kyle Lowry, Nova kid. I really do. I've rooted for him his whole career. Against all odds, he was looked at as the 3rd best guard in that backcourt, and he's made it longer than the other 2. So,
yeah.
The team that I had, I said them early though. Miami. I said them early. I basically said them early. I think that's a team that can beat anybody in the top. That I'm not gonna say they can win a series out of everybody that you got in the bottom 10. Like out of you talking about out of Washington, Toronto, and all them. Miami is the best team out of there that can beat. Probably beat one of the top 3. Beat one of the top 3, and I think Philadelphia is a matchup that I feel like they can win. They can win like the championship pedigree. They got the pedigree. They got the style of play that works good in the playoffs. Eric Spoelstra, 3-time head coach, winning championships, knows how to adjust to you in a 7-game series. Kyle Lowry, he should Miami, he should get all their money back. They should get all their money back and throw him in jail right now for stealing. They should throw him in jail right now. And I just think Jimmy Butler, he elevates in the playoffs. Bam Adebayo, he gets rebounds, and he know how to play, make, and get his players wide open and create shots for others. So I think that can be a tough matchup for any top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. And in the Western Conference, it's all kind of boggled up in the Western Conference for me. I'm not gonna say Dallas. I don't think they can be a team. The Clippers are already in the top 4, but if you got to go cop out, you got to go Golden State if they get healthy. I mean, that's the only team I really trust out of the bottom 10. Now, Minnesota aren't really a good basketball team. I'm not sold on Minnesota. The day that they got Rudy Gobert, I wasn't sold. I'm not sold on Minnesota at all. So that if I had to go that route, I'm gonna go Golden State. That's the only team I can trust in the bottom 10. Not too sold on New Orleans because Zion can't stay healthy. I think Zion would have stayed on the floor. I really thought that they would have been a dangerous team. They would have probably still been in the top 5 in the Western Conference if Zion.
Probably would have been
But
the
yeah,
top
they
three.
probably still been up there. But I gotta go. I gotta go Golden State.
I lied. There's one team that's out of the playoffs, that's not even in the playoffs, that has an opportunity to win a series.
You about to steal mine, I bet.
No, if you think I'm going with bottom right corner, who just commented, I'm not. There's a team in the East.
Oh no, definitely not that. No.
Is your team in the East?
No, the team I had actually is in the West, but I do have a team in the
Is
East.
it go ahead.
No, go ahead, Gene. I'll let you go ahead.
You got 2 superstar players on a team. And when you have 2 superstar players and you add a scrappy dude like Pat Bev and Vucevic,
Oh, you talking about Chicago?
I think Chicago can win a series. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, they added the scrappiness, the little toughness, Pat Bev, Vucevic. They won the night by 50. I mean, granted, they played the cowardly lion, Ben Simmons, and the Brooklyn Nets. But hey, winning by 50 versus any NBA team is.
Yo, I saw something that at first
My
I was
bad.
like,
Simmons didn't play again. My fault.
Wrong, and then after that, I laughed real hard. So it was a picture of Brittany Griner working out, and people was like, "Oh, Ben Simmons actually shooting some shots." I'm like, "Bruh, chill." Then I looked at the pictures close, and I'm like, "That could have been Ben Simmons with a haircut." Real talk. That was crazy, but I digress. I just had to get it out. So he says, so Michael Snowman says, the Lakers, longest of shots. Jordan is here. Jordan, what's up, bro? And so here's the ones that I'm picking. So I'm looking at the Atlanta Hawks, right? The reports are, I don't know if it's finalized yet or not, but when I was looking earlier, that they're going to probably hire Quinn Snyder. I think Quinn Snyder is going to get the most out of the pieces he has. You have what you have for the rest of the year. Nobody else is coming. Nobody else is leaving. So I think that they're a team that are going to be able to maximize some of this talent that's there and maybe slide on in there and get a series win in the playoffs. Because, I mean, like you said, Gene, you really got about 3, maybe 4 good teams. After that, it's really garbage. And if we're looking at things staying where they are, if you can get to 5, Cleveland's beatable. You know, I think they're like a little bit below the top 3 and a little bit above if you're just looking as it stands right now, everybody else, but not a lot. Then if we talk about the West, the team I'm going to pick there actually is the Portland Trailblazers. They're not in the top 10 right now, but I think Portland, Damian Lillard, some of the other pieces that they have there, Jeremy Grant, different guys. I think there's enough to get a series win, to make it in and get a series win. Now, you know, win a championship, getting to the finals, probably not. But hey, if you get hot at the right time, everybody could click, you could play well. I think that's a team that can win a series.
Dame time.
Yeah, because Dame can carry you to a series. You can't carry you to finals, but he can carry you for a series. All right, and then we got Brett. So Brett says healthy Pelicans. I'm gonna pick. I think he'd be in the West, and in the East, just doesn't have any team that inspires confidence. But I'll pick Jimmy in Miami because playoff Jimmy is elite. Of course, Jordan, Lakers Nation.
Shocked.
Kyle says the only team the Hawks might beat would be the Cavs. Yeah, I agree. And then Brett says Trey gonna have to crank up the efficiency if the Hawks want to make noise. His shoot this year has been really bad. Completely agree. I'm anticipating a new coach. Like I said, the reports I was seeing earlier when I had opportunity to look was Quinn Snyder's probably going to get the job. And I think he's a guy that can get, you know, the most out of Trey, at least for the rest of this season. I don't know how things are going to work next year because, you know, Trey's coach killer now. So, yeah, but do what you can with him now because he might get you fired next year too. And I'm only kidding, but I'm not. And then if you could change one NBA rule, what would that be?
If I can change one NBA rule, it will be the way people initiate contact. It will be the way people really initiate contact. contact. You know how someone just dribble the ball and just automatic run into you and just draw contact, or somebody body pump fakes, and you're just easing up, getting it, just running into them, and you end up headbutting them or elbowing them. I wish you can take that. I wish you can kind of take that away from right there. So yeah, I will kind of change that rule right there.
I would make it illegal to be a Lakers fan. They are the most delusional fan base I've ever met in my entire life. They are just delusional. It's like you're talking to Dallas Cowboys fans plus San Francisco 49ers fans plus New York Yankees fans. Like, it's just delusion on top of delusion. If I hear one more time that we're only 2.5 games behind the 7th seed, dog, you're 13th. They expanded the playoffs 2 extra games, and you still ain't in the playoffs. Like, the delusion isn't, but we're only 3 games out. I don't care. 70% of the league makes the playoffs, and you're not in the playoffs. Delusion is insanity. All right, let me give you a real rule. I'll give you a real rule. I think that illegal defense, 3 seconds in the lane, is an absolutely worthless rule. I would eliminate it. I would let teams play zone. I would let them play 3-2, 2-3, whatever you want to do. And I would let teams stand in the lane all day. It's the 3 seconds in the lane rule was created because Wilt Chamberlain would stand in the lane and just dunk on 6'5" guys all day, and they had to change the rules. It's elite athleticism now, and half the referees don't even call it. So I would eliminate both of them rules and just allow people to play defense the way they should play defense. Also, I would add hand checking back because it was great for basketball.
So I would eliminate the flagrant 1 and the flagrant 2 and stop playing sissy ball.
If I see another damn review
sick
for a flagrant 2 where a guy barely touches somebody in the head when he's trying to block a shot, like if I see another damn flagrant for that,
just do away with the flagrant 1 and 2. I don't want freak that crap. It's a foul or it's not a foul. If you get hit, you get hit. You may accidentally get hit in the head. It is what it is. If you got the ball, you rebound it, and you swing around, and people ain't got sense enough to get out of the way of your elbows, hey, you get hit, bro. Ain't no flagrants for that. Come on, man. That's what I would get rid of.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And then Kyle says, I would do away with the rip-through foul. How are you supposed to defend on the perimeter? Very valid point. Very valid point.
Hey, don't be taking shots at Joel Embiid. That's why you're doing it.
I wasn't even thinking of Joel Embiid.
I'm talking about Kyle. I'm just messing around. The rip through. Joel Embiid abuses that rule. He shouldn't. He gets it all the time. Yeah. He knows it. He abuses it.
Chris Paul get it too. Yeah. Chris Paul get that move too. A lot. I be seeing him get that move a lot. I think that move they should consider moving that. But the hand checking, I think they should move that too. That's soft. That's just soft. I don't like that one. I don't like that. Just because you put a hand on some damn body, that's a foul.
Yes. It's a lot that needs to go, but the flagrant was the ones that I see and I just get so mad, bro. And then Brett says fair plus with all the elite shooters now sitting in the lane wouldn't really work. Plus would lead to a lot of great posters and monster blocks. So Brett agrees with you as well, Gene. But hey, man, I always agree that I think everything we all talked about should probably go. It sounds as if, like, when you really think about the rules and think about what you would change, there's just so much just crap, right? Just get rid of some of the stuff and let's go play basketball. You know, how many times have you seen in a high school game, college game, middle school game, flagrant fouls? You don't. You foul, you bleed, you go to the side. If you stop bleeding, you want to come back in and you play. Get to the NBA, everything's a foul. There's no walks. Like, it's just crazy. So having said that, Gene, almost every week.
Yep, I got one this week. I'm just ready.
You got one. I know you got us one.
I'm calling somebody out this week. Jordan Jean Lewis. Hope you're still in the chat. and you too, cool, because you were part of this conversation. I don't know if you meant what you said, or if you meant somebody else, or you were talking about Kenyon Martin or whatever. But a conversation popped up in the Sports Empire Network chat as if Chris Paul is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And people were arguing with me. Are you out your damn mind? Do you I can't, you didn't say that, did you, cool?
I don't think he's a first ballot. I think he is a Hall of Famer, but I don't think he's a first ballot.
All right. Because you said that, I came prepared. I'll read you some first ballot Hall of Famers just for the hell of it. Jason Kidd. Chris Paul is better than Jason Kidd on every list. Grant Hill, guy missed like 6 seasons. Steve Nash played absolutely no defense, first ballot Hall of Famer. Ray Allen, spot shooter, first ballot Hall of Famer. Chris Paul's clearly better than. Tracy, I took half my career off McGrady. Allen Iverson, Yao Ming. Gary freaking Payton was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Chris Paul is a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. And it's embarrassing that anyone would argue against it. Chris Paul is a top 5 point guard of all time. He's third in career assists. He's third in career steals. Every franchise ever went to, the team has gotten better the year after he came. He is the head of the NBA Players Association, and what he has done for the league is absolutely astonishing. He's a 9-time All-Defender, and after this year, he'll be an NBA champion. I need the Chris Paul slander to stop. And then Jordan's got the balls to make a TikTok video about this. It's hilarious. Chris Paul slander is at an all-time high, and it's terrible. It's awful. You're talking about one of the greats of our game, a guy that plays the game the right way, intelligently. Chris Paul is a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
I completely disagree. But what I'm going to do tonight is, again, I'm going to be the good man. I'm going to let you live, and you can have your grandiose write out about Mr. Paul. I disagree with some of your points, but it's all good. You're entitled to have your opinion. I just do not agree with your opinion. Dante, do you have any final thoughts or anything you would like to add?
No, like I say, I'm with Gene. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I really do. Now, as far as Tracy McGrady, I don't think he's a better. I think Tracy. Well, I'm gonna just say Tracy McGrady is a better scorer. He's a better scorer, but I think they both play 2 different positions. Now, Gary Payton was a monster on the defensive side of the ball, and he can also assist the ball too. So I definitely think Gary Payton deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But Chris Paul, point guard,
I agree. Gary Payton deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. We're talking about first ballot Hall of Famers, and I think the argument is, but I think Chris Paul is better than every single person I mentioned. Every single.
Now, I would say he's a better basketball player than Iverson. Iverson is just a better scorer. That's it. I think Iverson just a better scorer than he was. But Chris Paul, I'm not gonna get no argument. But it's also I see why people don't have him as a first ballot Hall of Famer also, because his playoff failures, which is some of them wasn't on him. Blake Griffin, some of those playoff games didn't show up. Yeah, Jamal Crawford out there stinking it up as well. Some of those series. Blake Griffin, there was a lot of series. Blake Griffin couldn't stay healthy at all for them. But I see why some people don't have him as a first ballot. But I think he earned enough to get a first ballot Hall of Fame. You talking about was doing it all on the defensive side of the ball as well early in his career, and him putting the ball in the basket when he actually wants to, and him turning around the Thunder organization, people forgot they made the playoffs. The Thunder made the playoffs. They weren't supposed to make it that year. He the one changed the whole dynamic, the locker room. Phoenix, he changed that dynamic. He changed that locker room, led them to the NBA Finals. Yes, he didn't get it done now, but as far as him coming in now, he definitely made a difference in a lot of locker rooms that he was in, even though, he didn't get some of the job done. But, I like Chris Paul. I think he's a first ballot. I'm with Gene on that.
So Brett says Chris Paul First ballot Hall of Famer. It's not even close. Brett says 9-time All Defense. We've definitely heard that. Chris Paul could retire right now without any more games, stats, accolades, or ring, and he's easily a first ballot Hall of Famer. And Kyle says, if CP3 isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, you have to tell me who on the ballot keeps him out. So there can't be a ballot until he retires and he becomes eligible for the Hall of Fame. So we can talk about that when there's actually a ballot out and he's eligible. Who else is on the ballot? Like I said, for tonight, I've done enough of badgering. So I'm going to allow you, gentlemen, whatever your opinion is, you are free to have your opinion. It does not have to agree with mine. It does not. And it doesn't have to, because
Your
you know
opinion
what?
is wrong, cool.
Well, I mean, you can feel like my opinion is wrong. I feel like several of your opinions are wrong. But hey, that doesn't make them wrong. It just makes my feelings that they're wrong. Just, so I'm gonna roll with it. What I've learned is a zen place within myself. But hey, man, feel how you want to feel, man. I gotta deal with people that talk about like all these different people are so great in different times or whatever. And I realize, man, that's how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Nothing I say is gonna change how you feel, and nothing you say is gonna change how I feel. So talk about Chris Paul, but I'm not gonna go make a TikTok about it, all that now, Jordan. You wilding for that.
He did extra on that one. He did an extra up on that one.
I didn't even know about that till you just said it. But hey, I mean, if that's how Jordan feel, it just so happens.
And he voted on his own TikTok. That was even worse. He voted no. He was one of the 4 votes that were no out of the 14 people that voted.
So it's 14 people that voted. 4 voted no. He was one of them.
Yeah. I was so perplexed.
Yo, that's Jordan wild.
I think Cool was one of the other ones. I'm just kidding.
I actually know nothing about it, but I would have been had I known about it. It would have been 5. But I didn't know. But no, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. So, Gene, any final thoughts?
That was my final thought. I'm good.
Okay.
The trivia show's tomorrow night.
I just didn't want to,
The trivia show's tomorrow night. I get to break my trivia down. It's me and mystery partner. It's either going to be Freddie if he responds or Scholastic Shally. And we're going against Chris and AC.
I think it's going to be a good matchup.
I know my shit. I can't wait. I'll tell you right now, the team to not sleep on is Brett Gardapi and Jacob Neville is a little sleeper team, and Kyle Edwards and Cottrell. I don't know how they got grouped together, but that is just so perfect. They're very, very, very intelligent people, and they're on the same team. I think those are the 2 sleeper teams to look out for.
Any last thoughts, Coach Dante?
Nah, not at all, man. It was good to always come up in here to get a laugh, man. I don't think Gene and Freddie should be on the same team. I think they should be going against each other. I don't think they should be on the same damn team. I want to see that.
Right.
The problem is Freddie can't do trivia. Like if for me and Freddie were going against each other in trivia, it would be 150-0. I'm serious. It'd be like me going against a 4-year-old in basketball. We could do a Lakers trivia show and I would beat him. I'm not kidding.
Well, me and Jordan are partners on that too, so we'll see how that goes.
Yo, so cool. Can I give you one NBA fun trivia question that me and Key were working on? I can't be involved in the questions, but I was giving her examples, and it's a very easy one that we're going to start one of our. So you ever see the NBA follow train? So like which NBA player's career started in Minnesota, made a turn in Cleveland, and finished in Miami? Active player. That's one of the questions. It's not going to be on there tomorrow night, but that's one of the things that I was just doing NBA.
Like examples of, I got you.
Do you know who that player is, right?
I can't think of him right now. No.
Started in Minnesota, went to Cleveland, and then Miami. Active player. Coach,
You said started in who?
Minnesota, then went to Cleveland, and finished in Miami, or is active in Miami.
Oh, he's still in Miami. He play on the team. He actually play on the team.
Yep. Kyle Edwards nailed it in the comments already.
Yeah, I knew who it was.
Caleb.
I had to think about the Minnesota part.
Kevin Love. It's
Minnesota,
Kevin
yeah.
Love.
I had
Kevin
to think
Love.
about the Minnesota part for a minute.
Kevin Love. Yeah.
But like that's like one of the examples of what a trivia question is going to look like, given like a start path for an NFL or NBA career. It's going to be fun. I got the graphics. I've been building it up on the show for the restream tomorrow night. Key is going to be moderating it. It should be a fun show. Y'all should.
Or Freddie's going to be moderating, and Key's going to be your partner.
No, I think it should be Key and Freddie moderating, if I'm being real with you. I think that having two of them there coming up with the questions and keeping everything fair, having 6 people on every night, I think it'll be fun.
Okay. I dig it. Anything you got going on, Coach Dante?
Just tuning in to the keep tuning into the Empire Sports Network. 19 minutes. I'm gonna be over at Jonathan's Corner again every Friday and Wednesday night. So that's why I got coming up.
All right.
I love Jonathan, man. Can I give him a shout out? I know he's probably not listening right now because he's preparing for a show, but that guy has got just a warm heart of gold. And I love like just listening to his passion. He just I'm a Jonathan fan.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that at all. So I'm actually in the sort of down season, but I'm gonna be hopping on the Uncensored podcast. One of my guys, Rod, from my Matchup Madness, because there's like 32 people there, so just paying some of those guys back, hopping on some shows, rolling with them. Wednesday, of course, always Eagles Elite, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube.com/that Eagles Elite podcast, plain and simple. And then before this on Fridays, Play Call Sports Talk, playcallsportstalk.com/live, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Right now, that's what I'm rolling. I'm excited about the trivia show. Sometimes my brain clicks right on trivia. Sometimes it doesn't. We'll see what happens when I get up there. I might choke. I might not. We'll see.
He's choking.
Hey, I might. If I do, it is what it is.
I'm just kidding, bro.
Hey, you might be right. We'll see. But again, thank everybody for tuning in. I got a couple of things here. We got Kyle. He says, Gene and Shouty could be dangerous. Also, he answered Kevin Love as well. Great show, guys. Appreciate that. Brett hit us with a great show. This is definitely one of my favorite shows to tune into. Well, we definitely appreciate that, And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we coming to the end of the show. So we're going to holler at y'all next week. Make sure you tune in. Same bat time, same bat schedule. Holler at your boys. Shout out Coach Dante. Appreciate you rolling with us.